Hello and welcome to the NMS Prime channel. My name is Robin Sachse and I'm going to show you how user roles and abilities work in NMS Prime. For this video, we assume you have freshly installed NMS Prime and you can log in with root and the initial password. After successful login, you will see in the upper right corner Super User Initial. That's your current account and you head over to User Settings. In User Settings, you change the login name and the password for security reasons, and after you've done that, you click on Save. It will show you a little message that it has been updated. The next thing you can look at is the Global User Settings in the upper right corner of Super User Initial, and then you click on Global User Settings. In Global User Settings, you will see a list of current users, for example, root and customer and an API user. Here you can click on customer, for example, also change the login name and the password if you want, because you're an administrator. And you can set the language. Customer, for example, is in German. I'm going to switch that in English. You can type that right in and choose English. And you can also assign rows. And what these rows are, that's what I'm going to explain next. First, let's save that. On the rows page, you will see the already existing user roles. For example, we have admin, support, everynet, no delete, and guest. While admin, support, and guest will be pre-installed, everynet and no delete is made by us, especially for this demo system. No delete, you just click on the name, brings you to the editing page of this role. The name of the role is no delete. The title is also no delete. The description is something you could add, and the rank is specified what this user could edit. In NMS Prime, it's like this. If you have a rank of 95, you can change everyone that is below this one, if you have the ability to do this. You cannot change roles that are higher than your own role. And you can also assign users. For example, the customer is already assigned. I can also click into the list and choose another one, for example, my coworker, and also delete it by clicking on the little X right before his name. Clicking on Save saves the changes we've done. On the right side of the page, we can set the abilities. First things first, the custom abilities, then the global configuration, then the rules for authentication, and then for the modules in NMS Prime. For example, if we want that the customer that has the role no delete should be able to change the domains, we can set them under provisioning base domain and then check these check marks. And we can also allow for deletion of domains. Just click the checkbox and then click on Save. Now the customer, if he logs in, will be able to delete domains. Because that's not good for our demo system, I'm going to uncheck this one and save it again. As you can see, there are some colored buttons right on top of it. So if I don't want to click each one individually, I can just click on Manage and allow everything. Same goes for Create and for Update and also for Delete. And every time I change something, the Save button will show up. And most of these points in this table represent modules used in NMS Prime, except the first 1, 2, 3 things. Here we have the custom abilities, the global configuration, and the authentication. For example, the global configuration, here we activate modules like the billing base, the customer control center, the HFC base, the provisioning base, and all that other stuff. Seeing the custom abilities, we can also see view everything is already checked. That means the customer is able to view everything. We don't have to allow them specifically for this role if that one is checked. The next thing you will have noticed is that right before every checkbox, there's this little green Allow To. You can also change the behavior of abilities if you go to custom abilities and check all abilities. Now everything has changed. All these little boxes are not there anymore, and I can click on save, and then everything has changed to forbid to. That means I completely reversed how the roles are functioning, because now you don't allow stuff, now you forbid stuff. Forbidding stuff works exactly like allowing stuff, but you just forbid stuff. You can also click on these colorful buttons on top of every section. For example, view. Now the user can view everything, he can create everything, and you can click on save. And now he has the ability to do everything except these. In this step, I'm going to show you how a customer sees the system and how fast the system is with changing the user roles. First thing is we log into our demo system as a normal customer. And I say it again, you can try that out yourself. And then we head over to provisioning, domains, and we should be able to create a new one by clicking on the plus in the top right corner, type in some URL and an alias and different stuff. And but we can't delete them. We can check them, but we can't delete it. So we are in our administrator account, search for domain, and give them the ability to delete. And when the user refreshes the page, he will have a little delete icon. So now he can basically create domains. I call this one example.com, example, or we don't write something. And then it's created. And if you go into domains and check that, we can also delete it. This is how fast it is. So the moment you click on save, it's already active. And I can even uncheck that. It's loading. And we press F5 for refreshing, and it's gone. So back to being an admin again. I want to show you how these forbid and allow abilities really work in detail. We have a nice diagram. And to find these, you can head over to nmsprime.com, our official site, and scroll a little bit down until you find the link to the demo and the install and the documentation. I'm going to open the documentation in a new tab. And then you're right here. And under documentation on the left side, you will find authentication and authorization. And then this page will open up. Authentication and authorization is our documentation page about everything I tried to explain in this video. And if you scroll a little bit down, you will see the abilities as a little diagram. In NMS Prime, it's not only possible to have one role assigned to multiple users, but also to have one user with multiple roles. And the system checks by looking what is forbidden and then what is allowed. For example, if you have some technicians and some support people, you can have two roles, one for technicians and one for support. The technicians will see the domains and the support will see the ticket system. If you want to have another user that can do both, you just assign both roles. Forbidden is placed a little bit higher and is checked first. That means if you have a role that forbids something and you have another role that allows something, you still can't see the page. Because forbidden is checked first, and if it's forbidden, you're redirected to a 403 and you're unauthorized. So keep that in mind when making new permissions. If everything is fine and it's not forbidden and allowed, you get the permission granted to access the site, and there you can do stuff. Our documentation goes way more into detail than I did. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up. If you want to stay informed about NMS Prime, head over to our main site at nmsprime.com and subscribe to our newsletter. And thanks for watching.